to my channel. I'm Sydney. Today I want to talk to you guys about actually raising your average sale price and actually making more money for the items that you are selling on Poshmark, because there are little things that you can do that will actually help your items sell for higher prices just by improving the appearance of your listings, essentially. So today I want to talk to you about 5 tips to do that will raise your average sale price on Poshmark. The first thing that you need to do is you need to steam your items, and I see so many people not doing this, and it looks really, really bad in photos, and it looks really unprofessional. So I would at least suggest to, at bare minimum, get just a handheld steamer that you can run over your stuff, especially if you are getting stuff from the bins, or if you have it sitting around in a bag, if you're not hanging up your stuff, or if it's in a bin. You definitely need to steam your items just to make them look better and to make them look refreshed and not like you just pulled them out of the Goodwill outlet. So that is my first tip. My second tip is going to be your next step, which is to take better photos. You really need to put an emphasis on your photos, and there's a lot that goes into this, from what you are taking your photos with, to your lighting, to where you are taking your photos, your background. Everything is going to look better on a solid color background. Whether it's your wall, or if you get, like some faux fur, just try to have a solid background so that you can take really clear photos of your items. And your lighting is going to help a ton with this. If you can invest in anything for your Poshmark business, I highly recommend investing in a lighting kit. It is going to help you so much. I know you can take pictures with natural lighting, but that really limits you in terms of the time of day that you can take pictures. So once I got my lighting kit, it completely changed my business, because I was no longer limited to only taking pictures between like 2 and 5 o'clock, which is how I had to take my photos. So you can either get a lighting kit, or you can get a ring light if you are limited on space. I have several linked below in my description box. I have a whole Amazon recommendation section that you can go and you can look and see the products that I use that are going to be good and make your photos just look overall better. But if you can invest in anything for your Poshmark business, first priority should be a lighting kit, just so you can take clearer photos. And you don't necessarily need a super professional background. You can use your wall. You can use, just a plain like bed sheet, as long as it's solid colored. You can use like the white faux fur. I got my white faux fur from Joann. It's cheaper on Amazon if you order like a rug, but you can go like to the craft store and get some fabric for that. So my third tip for you is going to be to get a mannequin, and this still goes along like with your photos. You don't necessarily have to use the mannequin for everything, but on stuff like dresses and things that you need to show the fit for, especially for women's clothing, you need to have a mannequin, and that is going to make your photos look so much better, rather than those items just hanging on a hanger on the wall or laying flat. Because some things where you have to show fit, people need to see the fit of the item, and a mannequin is going to help you so much in terms of being able to showcase your item and merchandise your item in your photos, to where people can actually see how the item will fit them and how it kind of lays on the mannequin. So you don't have to use that for everything. Like for t-shirts and stuff, you're fine doing like a hanger or a flat lay, but there's a lot of things that you need to use the mannequin for to show the fit of the item. My fourth tip is going to be to source smarter. And this took me a while to actually learn, because I was just trying to get stuff really fast and I wasn't taking my time in the thrift store. But you can actually, like, if you slow down and go through the thrift store, you will find much better items. And I used to go through and just pick stuff off of the dollar racks because it was $1, but I was actually missing out on a ton of really good quality stuff that would actually sell for more money. So don't just buy something because it's $1 or because it's cheap. Actually take your time and go through the thrift store and find stuff that is going to be worth your time to list. I like to aim for at least a $20 price point. You know, trying to sell things for $8, $9, $10, that's not really worth your time to list unless you're just trying to like move your items. So definitely slow down and take time to source better quality items. And the cheaper that you can get them, the better. You know, find out your thrift stores, find out if they do sale days, go on the sale days to get those extra discounts to get your cost of goods down. Be very, very careful if you are doing like retail arbitrage or anything like that. Try not to spend too much on those items because those items are always a risk that they may sell and they may not, and you don't want to put too much capital into items that may not sell. So, you know, try to keep your cost of goods as low as possible because that is going to help you in the long run to make more money on your items. So, you know, take your time, take a day and go to the thrift store and literally go rack by rack, item by item, and see what you find. Don't just go to the sale racks. Don't just go to the bins. Really go and look and source for quality items, unique items that people are actually going to want to buy from you. So my fifth tip, my final tip, is going to be to include measurements in your listings. And I know a lot of times we don't want to take the time to do this because it's super annoying and time consuming, but if you include measurements in your listing, it's going to do several things. First of all, it's going to make you look more trustworthy as a seller. It just looks better in your description. And it looks like you actually like took the time and put time into your listings. So definitely take the time and add measurements, add a good description. The more details that you can include, the better. But adding measurements helps to keep the customer from having to ask you, because if they have to ask you about measurements or about anything about the item, they're probably just going to move on to the next item that does have measurements in it. So you don't want to have to make your customers ask you questions because they're going to be less likely to buy. Like, you want to go ahead and provide this information to them so that it's just right there in front of them and they can just click the buy button. So the least amount of steps that you can create for the customer, the better. So you don't want to have to make them ask how, you know, what's the armpit to armpit measurement on this, or what's the length of this. Like, you already want to provide that information in the listing, especially on more expensive items that you want to sell quickly. But if it's a more expensive item, you definitely need to take the time and add in, you know, the fabric, the measurements, length, width. If it's a men's item, do like the arm measurement. Just take your time and do your listings correctly, because that is going to also save you a ton of time in the long run without people having to ask you and you having to stop what you're doing and go and measure something. Just go ahead and measure it up front and include that information for your customers. So I wanted to give you guys these tips. That way, you know, you can improve the overall look of your closet. And when you improve the overall look of your closet, then you are going to get more money for your items. The more professional that your closet can look, the more you're going to get for your items. The better your photos are, the more you're going to get for your items, because somebody's going to be way more willing to pay more for an item if you have taken the time to take good, clear photos of it versus you just throwing it on your bed and snapping some pictures of it. And you want to photograph the entire item. You want to show the customer as much of the item as possible. This helps them feel more confident in shopping with you, and this will also help protect you from item not as described cases and things like that. So really put just that little extra effort into your listings and it will pay off, and you will start seeing your average sale price go up. People will take you more serious as a seller. They'll be more confident in shopping with you, and you know, it's just these little things, these 5 little things that you can do to improve your photos that will help you to make more money. So that is my video for the day. I hope this helps someone. I hope it will help you raise your average sale price and, you know, really pay attention to what you're sourcing and your photos. If you need help with your sourcing, I have 2 guides down below, my sourcing guide and my Goodwill outlet guide. You can buy them separately or you can buy them as a bundle. I have them linked in the description box. But thanks so much for watching my video, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.